Hello everyone, welcome to Pleasant Notes. Here is the solution for practice set 16. This practice set is based on complementary angles. Now, what is meant by complementary angles? The definition for complementary angles is if the sum of measures of two angles is 90 degree, then they are known as complementary angles. Means if two angles are there, if we take their addition, then it should be equal to 90. Suppose there are two angles, angle A and angle B. Then angle A plus angle B equals to 90. Their addition should come 90. Hence, if the sum of measure of two angles is 90, then they are known as complementary angles. Now, let us start solving practice set 16. Question number 1. The measure of the sum angles given below. Write the measures of their complementary angles. First one 40 degree. So one of the angle is 40 degree. Another angle we have to find, which is complementary angle of this 40 degree. Then let the measure of that complementary angle be x. Then 40 plus x is equal to 90. 40 plus x is equal to 90. Therefore, here we subtract 40 on both the sides. Then we have x is equal to 50 degree. 40 minus 40 is 0. On the left hand side x will be there. And on right hand side of equal to sign, 90 minus 40 is 50. So simple. The measure of the complementary angle is 50 degree. Second one 63 degree. Let the measure of the complementary angle be x. Instead of x, you can take any variable a, b, c, p, q, r, x, y, anything. So it is not compulsory that every time you will take the variable x. Then 63 plus x is equal to 90. Therefore, subtracting 63 from both the sides, we have x is equal to 27 degree. So the measure of the complementary angle with 63 degree is 27 degree. Third one 45 degree. Again same, let the measure of the complementary angle be x. Then 45 plus x is equal to 90. Then subtracting 45 from both the sides, we have x is equal to 45. Then the measure of the complementary angle is 45 degree. Fourth one 55 degree is the measurement. Then the measurement of complementary angle be x. Then 55 plus x is equal to 90. Subtracting 55 from both the sides, we have x is equal to 35 degree. The measure of the complementary angle is 35 degree. Fifth one 20. Let the measure of the complementary angle be x. Then 20 plus x is equal to 90. Subtracting 20 from both the sides, we have x is equal to 70. So the measure of the complementary angle is 70. Sixth one 90 degree. Let the measure of the complementary angle will be x. Then 90 plus x will give the addition 90. Then subtracting 90 from both the sides, then x is equal to 0. The measure of the complementary angle is 0. 0 and 90, its addition is 90. So the measure of the complementary angle is 0 here. Seventh one x degree. Here x is the variable given. We have to find its complementary angle. Now here I change the variable from x to y. The x I used in previous example. Here already the measure of the angle is given x and we have to find the complementary angle for it. Therefore, let the measure of the complementary angle be y. Then this x and that complementary angle with x, y, its addition should be 90. Then y is equal to 90 minus x. That x we can subtract from both the sides, or if the x is transferred to the right hand side, then y is equal to 90 minus x. So y is our complementary angle. So the measure of the complementary angle is 90 minus x degree. Question number 2. Y minus 20 degree and y plus 30 degree are the measures of complementary angles. Find the measure of each angle. Okay, so two angles are given, y minus 20 and y plus 30. Their addition should be 90. Here we write the equation y minus 20 plus y plus 30 is equal to 90. Now y minus 20 plus y plus 30 is equal to 90. Now both these y's are positive. So y plus y 2y. Then minus 20 as it is. Then plus 30, and which is equal to 90. Now 2y. 2y minus 20 plus 30 is plus 10. 30 minus 20 is 10. Therefore 2y plus 10 is equal to 90. Then this plus 10 will be shifted on the right hand side, will become minus 10. Then 2y is equal to 90 minus 10. 90 minus 10 is 80. 2y is equal to 80. Then this 2 is in multiplication with the y on the left hand side, will go in dividation on the right hand side. Now we have equation y is equal to 80 divided by 2. 80 divided by 2 is 40. Y is equal to 40. Now here we got the value for y, that is 40. Now we will put this value in the equation. So y minus 20 is equal to 40 minus 20, and which is equal to 20. Y minus 20 is 20. Now y plus 30. Y's value is 40, we calculated above. So put the value for y is 40. Then 40 plus 30 is 70. Then y plus 30 is equal to 70. So the complementary angles are 20 and 70. Here y minus 20 is equal to 20 and y plus 30 is equal to 70 degree. So these are the values for the complementary angles. Here we completed practice set 16. If you find the content useful, please subscribe the channel.